The UFC has had great moments both in and outside of the octagon in 2017, where some of these moments have been special in their own way, which have left a mark for fans to remember for a very long time. So here is 10 best UFC moments of 2017. Number 10. Alexander Gustafsson was scheduled to face Glover Teixeira in a 5-round main event at UFC Final 109. In the 5th round, Alexander Gustafsson landed a series of uppercuts, knocking out Glover Teixeira. In his post-fight interview, he called his girlfriend Moa inside the octagon, where he got down on one knee and proposed to his girlfriend. She said yes, and both of them are happily engaged right now. What a way to propose. First you beat the crap out of a fighter, and then you propose to your girlfriend in your home country. It has to be the best proposal ever. Number 9. Fabricio Werdum was scheduled to face Mycene Tybura in a 5-round main event at UFC Final 121 in Australia. Whilst in Australia, Fabricio Werdum ran into Colby Covington, who insulted the whole of Brazil saying that it was a dump, and called them filthy animals after his win over Damian Maia at UFC Final 119. These negative comments didn't sit well with Fabricio Werdum, where he attacked Colby Covington with the boomerang in the streets. This incident blew up in the MMA world, where many fans were calling it one of the best moments of 2017. Many have said that Colby Covington deserved it, as he should have been more respectful towards Brazil. I personally thought the whole situation was funny, so that's why I put this moment as number 9. Number 8. At UFC 216, Derrick Lewis was scheduled to face Fabricio Werdum in a 3-round heavyweight bout. Leading up to his fight, Hurricane Harvey had caused massive amounts of destruction, where his hometown of Houston, Texas suffered a lot of damage. Derrick Lewis stepped up to help and used his pickup truck, going through the flooded streets, where he helped pick up stranded families out of danger. He even helped in volunteering in helping giving food to those who are severely affected. Derrick Lewis, you sir are a legend. Number 7. Diego Sanchez allowed Isaac Marquez to win in a professional MMA fight to help him make his dreams come true. Isaac Marquez has Down syndrome and was a huge fan of MMA. He trained alongside Diego Sanchez at Jackson Wink, and it was a great gesture by Diego Sanchez. Number 6. Just a week before UFC 216, a gunman opened fire on a crowd of concert goers, which left 58 people dead and 851 people injured. With this shocking mass shooting happening just a week before UFC 216, the UFC decided to go ahead with the event and put on a great presentation to all the people involved in the incident. UFC 216 opened up with UFC President Dana White giving words of encouragement, which followed up with a performance by Everlast. The UFC welcomed first responders and victims into the cage as special guests. It was a tragic event, and it was handled well by both the organization and the fighters. Number 5. Max Holloway came into 2017 as the interim UFC featherweight champion, where he had put together a 10-fight winning streak and just looked like a totally different fighter. Jose Aldo on the other hand had defeated Frankie Edgar by a unanimous decision, where he became the UFC featherweight champion. Both fighters were scheduled to face each other in a title unification bout at UFC 212. In the fight, Max Holloway stopped Jose Aldo by TKO in the 3rd round to become the new UFC featherweight champion of the world. When Max Holloway's next opponent Frankie Edgar pulled out of UFC 218 due to injury, Jose Aldo stepped in as a late replacement, where he would face Max Holloway in a rematch at UFC 218. In the fight, Max Holloway was able to stop Jose Aldo again by TKO in the 3rd round to successfully defend his world title. Max Holloway has worked his way up from the bottom to the top and has faced nothing but the best competition to his way to UFC gold. He is the only person to hold 2 stoppage victories over Jose Aldo, which is very impressive. So Max Holloway becoming champion has to be one of the best moments of 2017. Number 4. Robert Whittaker came into 2017 with a 6-fight winning streak, who had just dismantled Derek Brunson at UFC Final 101. Robert Whittaker was next given a dangerous opponent in Jacare Souza at UFC on Fox 24. Jacare Souza had looked so dominant in the middleweight division and had trouble finding an opponent for him. At UFC on Fox 24, Robert Whittaker was able to completely shut down Jacare Souza, eventually winning the fight by TKO in the 2nd round. After his big win, he was given the opportunity to fight for the interim title against the dangerous Rawal Romero at UFC 213. Rawal Romero was the most intimidating man in the middleweight division, who had just violently knocked out Chris Weidman at UFC 205. Both fighters fought for all 5 rounds, where Robert Whittaker was given the unanimous decision victory and was later promoted as the undisputed UFC middleweight champion. He became the first Australian to win UFC gold and defeated top contenders such as Jacare Souza and Yoel Romero, who no one else wanted to fight. So Robert Whittaker becoming champion has to be one of the best moments of 2017. Number 3. George St. Pierre had announced his comeback to active competition, where he was scheduled to face then UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping at UFC 217. GSP was coming into this fight with a 4-year layoff, where everyone was excited for his return. In the fight, GSP was able to land a vicious left hook in the 3rd round, dropping Michael Bisping to the canvas. He immediately jumped on Michael Bisping's back, where he sank in a rear naked choke, choking Michael Bisping unconscious. He had become the UFC middleweight champion of the world. He is now one of the only few fighters to hold 2 titles in 2 different weight classes. Number 2. In 2017, two of the biggest names in combat sports came together in a boxing match, which turned out to be one of the most hyped up events of the year. The UFC lightweight champion Conor McGregor was set to face one of the best boxers of all time, Floyd Mayweather, in a boxing match. Both fighters built up the event with their crazy press conferences, which had everybody excited. In their boxing match, Floyd Mayweather was able to finish Conor McGregor by TKO in the 11th round. It is crazy to think that this fight even happened, as many thought it wouldn't happen. This boxing match was a great thing to happen for MMA in general in 2017. Number 1. In 2017, Demetrius Johnson had tied Anderson Silva's record of 10 consecutive title defenses after he defeated Wilson Hayes by an armbar at UFC on Fox 24. He was next set to defend his title for the 11th time against Ray Borg at UFC 216. In the fight, Demetrius Johnson was able to lock in an armbar in the 5th round, forcing the tap. Demetrius Johnson had just broken Anderson Silva's record and had set a new record of 11 consecutive title defenses. Demetrius Johnson has looked superb as a champion, where it will be interesting to see how he performs in 2018.